you're starting college and you want to know everything, here's everything I wish someone would have told me before I started. So hi, my name is Jalyn if you're new, and if you're not, welcome back. I appreciate all your support. A little disclaimer before we start is I do have my laptop up because I'm glancing to make sure I hit all the points that I planned for this video, because I want to give you guys all the details I wish I would have known. So I'm a first generation college student at Arizona State University in Tempe, Arizona. I'm going to be covering academics, health, social life, money, and so much more. So let's go ahead and get into the good stuff. Our first topic is academics and classes, and we're going to start by discussing college classes compared to high school classes. So obviously, the one thing that I did know is that you weren't in college, you're not going to see your teachers every day like you do in high school. I didn't really think anything. I knew the classes would be longer, but that's all I really thought about it. So I'm going to say in high school, it's more in class, you have time to do your assignments. Like, you guys may do a lecture, and then for my high school, at least, we would get a couple of minutes to do homework. In college, it's more outside work. So in class is the learning lecture part, and then outside of that, they're expecting you to do like 7 hours of assignments a week. It's a lot, and it definitely threw me through the ringer the first couple of weeks because I knew that it was going to be outside work, but I wasn't expecting that load to be as heavy as it was. But we made it through, so we're okay. Your study methods have to get intense in college. In high school, for math, I would do the math review that the teachers provided, and that was studying. If the class was term-based, I would use a Quizlet. In some classes, I honestly just didn't study for it. I feel like now in college, you have to have a set study method that you know is going to ensure you the best grade you can get. And I mean, I'm not, the night before cramming. No, you have to study weeks in advance for some of these classes because the course load, the amount of stuff they squeeze into a little amount of time is a lot. But I would say once you find a study method that works for you and is getting you that good grade, stick with it. Make sure you're consistently putting time aside so you can have time to get that good grade. The teachers leave you alone. You hear it in high school, they're not going to care about your grades in college. They're right. It can be a good or a bad thing. A good thing is you don't have to sit and hear the teacher nag on. The bad thing is let's say the syllabus says there's an assignment due. Your teacher may not even tell you there's going to be an assignment due. It's up to you to make sure you've read the syllabus and you have wrote down all your assignments. I use an assignment tracker that I check multiple times a day to make sure, and I have it so if an assignment's due in a day, it'll turn red. So I have that helps me stay on top of it, because I don't think I've had a teacher, I've had some like at the beginning of class, but I have also had teachers who won't tell you, this is due, or there's an exam coming up. You have to be on top of the syllabus yourself to do that. And then there's longer classes. The classes are longer. The most I've had is 1 hour and 15 minutes, which, depending on the class, it isn't bad. If the class is boring, it's so long, but some of the classes go by super quick. I also have some classes that are 50 minutes, but those meet 3 times a week versus the 115 where they only meet twice. I do like that we don't meet every day. That's definitely a blessing. I'm officially done with classes while I'm doing that, and I'm so glad that we don't meet every day because some of those classes are boring, the lecture parts are long, and I'm just glad we don't meet every day. Now we're going to talk about the importance of reading the syllabus. I've already stated this, but your syllabus includes your assignments, your deadline, your exams, attendance policy, and your finals, and then extra credit. When they put the syllabus out, they usually do it a few days before school even starts. You need to be on it and you need to read it. Read it all the way through. I know it's long and it's boring, but sometimes I've had a teacher for science. If you read the syllabus, it was a little hint in there saying, email your favorite color to her teacher's assistant and you get extra credit. If I wouldn't have read the syllabus, I would have missed that. They also give you your assignments. So they don't go over assignments or exams in class. Your syllabus is where you need to look for yourself to see that. Also, attendance policy. That's something else about high school. They say, teachers aren't, attendance is mandatory, it's up to you to go. No, some teachers the attendance is mandatory, which shocked me when it was like if you miss more than 3, you're removed from the class, or you miss points. Like teachers get points for attendance, so definitely read the syllabus so you know if this is a laid-back class or strict class, and if it's strict, how many days can you miss before you're on the brink of failing. Your finals, if you want to know in advance what day your final is going to be, this is where you're going to look. They may not give the location if you're in person, but you can at least plan ahead so you know I need to be done with all the work at this time so I can start studying for this time. And also extra credit. Some teachers give extra credit, some teachers don't. If you want to see when extra credit is going to be offered, or what counts as extra credit, how much work are you going to have to do for it, the syllabus is also where you're going to go. And teachers, I'm emphasizing this, is they're not going to remind you what needs to be done and when. So your syllabus is your guideline to tell you, I have this project, I need to have it, it says it's due here. It's up to you to get it done. So rely on your syllabus because your teacher is not going to help you. And it also gives you the setup of the class. The syllabus will tell you if this class is lecture-based, like in class we just lecture and outside you do a homework assignment, or is this an interactive class? Is this a class where you have to read the textbook, buy a textbook? Your syllabus is where you're going to get all that type of information. How to manage a heavy workload, but doing more than just writing stuff down. When you get your assignments, you just don't want to write down or make a quick note on your phone, oh, blah, blah, blah. You want to plan out when you're going to get it done. So what I do is I have my assignment tracker that gives me when it's due. That's the basic of writing it down. After that, every week I have a planner, and I would write down the days I'm actually going to get this work done. So I was on time, I had enough time to finish the assignment, and I didn't feel like I was falling behind or being late in my assignments. This helps out for me because it tells me each day what needs to be done. It also helps me stay on top of it and organized, and I'm not stressed. You want to plan when you're going to study. You want to at least make note of, oh, okay, on this day I'm going to study for math. Now, I don't put the times of how long I'm going to study. I kind of let that be up to me depending on how I feel. Some days I feel like doing more. Some days I don't have it in me. But at least when I put, oh, on this day I'm studying this, it's just like writing an assignment down. It's something you have to do. If you don't write it down, what if you forget to study because you didn't write it down? So I like to put it down so I know what I'm looking forward to. Well, not looking forward to, but what I have to do. Plan your breaks. You don't have to write down, take a break. But when you're starting your work, be like, okay, I'm going to do this assignment or 2, and then I'm going to take a break, or I'm going to work for this minute. I'm going to work for an hour and then take like a 15-minute break. Plan out your breaks. That helps you avoid burnout. And some days are going to be busier than others. Sometimes I write stuff down and the day just gets so busy with classes, social life, hanging out. And sometimes an assignment also takes longer than you planned, so you have to readjust. So be flexible. You're human. It happens. If we could plan out our day every single day perfectly, no one would be struggling. So it's just not realistic. And lastly, for academics and classes, the truth of choosing a major and changing it. For me, I wasn't set on going to college until my junior year. Like I said, I'm a first generation college student. I come from a family of poverty, and the thought of going to college wasn't real for me. Like, I couldn't afford it. And I'm super grateful that I was able to make a way this year, but next year I can't make a way out here, so I will be switching to online. Still at ASU, but I'm going to be online. So if you guys have any video suggestions, comment that down below. But I wasn't set on college till junior year, and even then it was like, what am I interested in? Because your basic stuff like healthcare, law, teaching, I was not interested in. But I did have a love for social media, and this YouTuber, Keegan Acton, I was watching her since COVID, and she actually went to Arizona State for the exact major I am, digital and integrated communications marketing, and it deals with social media, and you work for a marketing firm, and that's what I wanted to do. I was set on doing that. So my advice to you would be, pick something you're interested in, and if it doesn't work, switch it up. Don't let the requirements or people tell you, it's gonna mess stuff up. It may, but wouldn't you rather do that than versus have a degree for a job you're not interested in or want? I want to enjoy my job. I want to make good money, But I don't want to be stuck in this cycle of going to a job that I hate just because I didn't change my major. I love my major, so I'm not changing it. But if you are at the case where you're sick of your major and you want to change it, do it. Next, we are discussing time management, which is huge in college. So time goes fast, especially deadlines. Deadlines creep up quickly. You'll be like, I have 2 weeks to do this, and by 2 weeks you're like, oh my gosh, I have this huge thing due. The days are long, but the weeks go by so fast. Like the fact that I am at the end of my freshman year already, and I feel like it was just January. I was just getting back to campus. It was just spring break, and now I'm already at the end. Like it's May 4th, and I have just 2 days of exams, and then I'm completely done with my freshman year, which I think is insane, but that just shows you how quick it goes. Enjoy the moment and just soak it all up. Don't bury yourself in your schoolwork. There's more to life than grades. Your grades you're not going to look back in college and be like, I'm so glad I put in all that work because my grades are good. You're going to want to look back and think about the memories. You're going to want to think about the classes you like, the classes you hated, the good and bad, the friendships, the parties. You're going to want to think back and relate to everything. So I would just say enjoy the moment. Just be present. Take it day by day and soak it all up. Balancing school, content, and social life. I'm a content creator. I really do enjoy creating content. I've been getting back into YouTube, and I've been active on TikTok for 2 years. My page is just now starting to slowly grow, but I'm thankful for it. I really do just love creating videos, and I'm getting back into loving editing. So I just have a good time with it. And coming out to college, I know it's not going to be a full-time job for me. When I go home, I'm very much expectant to get a job, but I still want to do this. I don't think I would ever do this as a full job. I'm open to it, but I do love it as a hobby. So I would say plan out your school week at the beginning of the week. Sunday is a huge planning day for me. I plan out my schoolwork, my content, any hangouts. As soon as I know when they are, I put them on my calendar so I can see what's going on each day and make sure I'm not overbooking myself. So I use my assignment tracker and I write down the days I'm gonna actually do the assignments. Also, if you're a content creator like me, I would say plan out your content. You want to put the days you're going to film it and make sure I'm really bad. I'm going to be transparent. I'm really bad at making sure I'm editing consistently. Like there's some times where I prefer editing days where I just sit and edit versus I'm going to do this a day, like every single day. But I'm really bad about actually setting aside time to like just edit. So I'm going to get better on that, but I would say plan out your content when you're going to film it, what you're filming, and then make sure you plan out some editing days so, your content actually gets out there and it's good quality. Make plans with your friends, especially since the year's ending, but a couple of months ago, I was like, I'm going to at least hang out with my friends once a week. We could do something small, even if it's just like meeting up to talk for 30 minutes. But it gives you that social life. You're connecting with other people that's not just school-based. And it's like a little reward for the week, just something different. And I would say go to events you're interested in. They're on campus and off campus events. Figure out something you're interested in. You want to make school worth going to. Besides obviously we're here for the degree, but you want to, life still goes on. Like you want life to be worth living. And sometimes just going to classes and stuff is not enough for people. So make time for the things you like. Go to the events you want to go, whether it's a party, whether it's a speaker you want to listen to. Our campus does like Red Bull events and like dog events where they bring like emotional support animals on campus, and that's just super cute. So there's plenty, I'm sure there's something on campus for everyone. Join the clubs you want and it'll be worth living. But I would say don't put more than you can handle on your plate. That includes classes. Don't take money. My dumb self, and I know I shouldn't talk about myself like that, but it was really stupid of me. I am in 6 classes this semester. And obviously now that classes are over, I'm cool. But at the beginning, I was drowning. I was suffering because there was so much going on. Do not take any more classes than you know you can handle. And if you're like me and you put too much you can handle, when you go book them classes next semester, don't do it again. I'm already technically a junior in college next year. I would say I'm my first year now because it's my first year, but the amount of credits I have, I'm already a junior. So why am I over here trying to graduate next year? Would it be better cost-wise? But I'm lacking mentally. I'm exhausted, so I'm not going to do it. Don't overcommit with clubs or hangouts. If it's exhausting to hang out, don't hang out. It's okay to miss one or two. It's okay to miss all of them if you need to. Do what's best for you. Why procrastination hits harder in college? Procrastination is just the word of everyone's procrastinated before. I think it hits harder in college because this is the point in your life career where no one's on your back. No one's standing over you like in high school, middle school, elementary, your parents. Like it's either you get it done or you don't. That's up to you. No one cares whether you get your work done. Sorry. I froze up a little bit. And then free will kicks in. The amount of times where I was sitting there, I was like, I don't have to pay attention to class if I don't want to. I have free will. So that's when but then I'm not listening to notes, and then procrastination takes in because now I have to go back and do the notes. You realize you have free will, and then you lack motivation and discipline. I saw a quote that said, rely on discipline when there's no motivation. You're not always going to be motivated. When you are motivated, hit the ground running. But you're not always going to be motivated. So when you're not motivated, but you know you need to get stuff done, your discipline has to kick in. And I think that's where a lot of us start to struggle. I've gotten better at it. There's definitely some work I need to do, but I'm glad I'm improving. And then how scheduling everything changed my life. So I'm a very anxious person. I've never been officially diagnosed with anxiety, but I do remember, what age was I? 5, that was 6 years ago. I was like 13, 14, and I had a really bad anxiety attack. They had to take me to the hospital, and they were like, you have anxiety. But I never, it's not in my charge. Nothing was ever done for it, which makes my family doesn't prioritize helping people. Like my mom and dad were never really active and good about helping when I needed help, health-wise. So I'm definitely, as an adult, I'm going to go get diagnosed because I'm sure there's just a whole thing going into it. If you guys want a video on that, I will do it. But going to college was rough for me because of my anxiety. So once I sat down and planned out my schoolwork, my content, hangout times, relaxing, self-care days, it made it better because I knew what to expect. Now, obviously, things don't always go as planned, but I at least had a sense of what I could be doing. And then it also let me know that there's a time for everything. There was a time to get my schoolwork done. There was a time to enjoy my content. There was a time to read books. I love reading. There was a time to hang out, and there was a time to rest. And I think just scheduling everything calmed me down, and I felt more prepared and better, like what I was doing. Social life and friends. So you all hear the common story, when you get to college, you're going to find your group of people. That's true for some people, but everyone is different. Don't shoot the idea down. I've definitely found a good friend that I'm definitely going to keep in contact with when I go back home, but I didn't find my group of people. And I think that's fine. Even in high school, I didn't find my group of people. I'm sure there will come. Unfortunately, for some of us, it takes years, but it is what it is. I think once you stop stressing over it, it just becomes easy and you're just go with the flow. So it's okay to feel lonely. It's common. When you first come out here, you're worried about whether I live in a single dorm. I did film a video on that as well. If you guys have already seen, you should have already seen. I should have been posted way before this, but I lived in a single dorm. So for me, it was whether or not my suite mates is gonna, because we share a bathroom, are we gonna have a good relationship? For some people, I know most people have roommates. Are you and your roommate gonna click? Some of you guys do, and it's really great. Hold on to it. It's good to have someone there. You may not keep them forever, but it is good to navigate that first year together. Some of you guys aren't. You're gonna hate your roommate. For me and my suite mate, we are not close, but we are mutual. I don't know the word for it. Like, we don't talk, but we just share a bathroom. That's really just what it comes down to. We don't talk at all. And that's okay. There's gonna be other people to talk to. You won't always click. And I think once you accept that, if you go into it with the mindset of we may not click, when it happens, you won't be let down. I mean, you can go into it, we obviously want to be optimistic. We want to have a good relationship with the person we're going to be living with, but when it doesn't happen, don't always think it's you. Sometimes people are more reserved. Sometimes people come in with the thought of, I don't want to be close, or maybe they didn't want a roommate. Whatever it is, we're not going to worry about it. We're not going to stress. Don't stress yourself out about it. And I'm going to say tips for making friends in big lecture classes. I have bigger lecture classes. So I would say there's always that first week and you have a couple teachers that are like, turn to the person next to you and introduce yourself. Do it. It's definitely awkward. But sometimes I've seen in classes, like when I do that, this time I actually met one of my great friends. You're at an event and they said, turn to the person next to you and get to know them. And I did that and we hang out every single week. It's also good to just have people to talk to in class, whether you're close friends or not. If you're struggling, you help them, they help you. And also you guys, the relationship could get further than outside of class. Small talk. I know people hate small talk. I love small talk. I love, hi, how are you? How's your day? What do you like to do outside of class? What's your major? I love small talk because I feel like that's how you really, that's basically like that person's introduction to you or your introduction to them. So I love small talk. I think it works every single time. And then you want to sit by others. If you don't want to make friends, you want to be by yourself, and you're not the first one in class, go find the empty seat. But if there's other people in class and you want to make sure you have somebody to sit next to, go sit by people. They can't tell you to get up. If they don't want to sit by you, they'll get up and leave. But what happens if you sit next to that person who's your lifetime best friend or partner, you just have to make sure you're taking every opportunity you can get to build those relationships. Money and budgeting. So I have a meal plan. ASU, I think, is a really good place as far as what they offer for meal plans, because we not only get restaurants, like we get like fast food, but not even restaurants, so like fast food, like we get Domino's, Subway, Chick-fil-A, Qdoba, Payway. There's an Indian cuisine place. We have Einstein and Bagels. We have 50 million Starbucks. We have a cafe. We have Burger King. We have Shake Smart and what's the other? Shake Smart. And there's another smoothie. Everbowl. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there's more. And then we have a lot of dining halls. Your biggest dining hall is going to be Pitchforks in the Student Union. But there's also a dining hall at Barrett, Tucker House, Hacienda. Feel like there's one more and I just can't name it. But we have plenty of options. We also have Wetzel Pretzels truck, usually down by the bookstore. But it's really good in that it offers like quick options, like when you want some fast food, Chick-fil-A, but also a dining hall when you want like your vegetables, your meat, your actual like a full meal. I think it's really great for that. So I have a meal plan. There's a bunch of different meal plans. I have where it's 10 meal swipes a week. And then there are, I think, 600 maroon and gold dollars, which are your basically cash dollars you spend at the restaurants. So we're going to talk about how fast or slow your meal points and cash runs out. So I think a lot of people spend at the beginning. I'm a very conscious person. Like, I'm in my last week and I have $130 to spend, which I know is kind of insane, but my sister's coming down tomorrow, so that's why I'm not super worried about it. And I'm gonna go get Subway for dinner today, so I'm gonna be good. If you plan well, I think your money can last you to the end. And then your dining swipes, sometimes the dining hall isn't the best, but it is an option. If you're eating out every single day, it's going to go by fast, and you're going to end up like with 2 months of no cash. You're going to be relying on meal points, and that may not be enough, so you're going to have to dig into your pocket. I thankfully haven't had to do that. I'm super grateful. that I have this meal plan. So I think it definitely depends on how you're spending. And then you need to have, I would say, have a backup plan in case your money runs out faster than you think. Whether that's you're going to grocery shop, because I also do grocery shop. Whether you're going to grocery shop, you have cash to eat off campus, anything like that, I would just say have a plan for just in case. I haven't had to use a backup plan, but if it happens, you want to be prepared. I'm going to talk about hidden fees. And by hidden fees, I mean printing and book fees. So obviously, printing isn't expensive. It's like 50 cents a page or something. But that's still money. And it does add to your student account. So you have to be kind of aware of it, that you need to go pay that. So you can't just print and think it's just going to charge and I don't know, it's going to be paid in tuition. Like, no, that's separate money you do have to go back and pay. So I would keep that in mind. And then books are expensive. Oh my gosh, I did not know how expensive college books were. It's just like I'm paying all this tuition and the books aren't included. Book fees are expensive. My rule is, unless my homework is through the book, like McGraw-Hill, Cengage, it's pretty much it. If my homework is not in the book, I'm not paying for the book. I will have to make do without, because those fees add up. That was extra money I did not have. Thank God for my family. They were able to help me. But that's my rule of thumb for the book fees. Unless my homework's not in that book, I'm not paying for it. And this is also something you have to make sure you go off and pay. It's not just going to come out your tuition. You have to actually go into your student account and you have to pay for it, and beware of the due dates, because the printing and book fees they will put a due date on it, and if you miss it, you may have to pay like a late fee or something, and that's added money. So be careful with that. And I also have a couple of ways that I'm making money on the side as a student. Some of these I'm not using all of them. So the ones that I use are online studies. I use a website called User Interviews, and you apply for these studies people have. Sometimes they're like one-on-one interviews, sometimes they're focus groups, and sometimes they're just some online tasks they want you to try out. I want to round to maybe $300 on this, so obviously not enough to sustain a full job, but it is money. I did an interview survey a couple months ago. They gave me $100, which I'm now using to pay for my Mother's Day dinner for my family. So it definitely does help out. I used to do surveys, not so much because they take a lot of time and there's a little payout, but I know some people who are successful with that. If you guys have any options, let me know below, because your girl is trying to have multiple streams of income. Freelance work, I tried to use Fiverr, but I had an old account and I can't enter my phone number. It's a whole thing. I need to sit down and learn how to use it, but I just haven't gotten to that yet because I'm busy with school. But there's different freelance works. I also do, if you guys want to support me, I do have my Cashapp below, but I also have a Payhip. I think it's called Payhip. It's where I sell content planners. They're like little downloadable PDFs, and they cost no more than $3. So I do have that down below. I put that on my social medias and prayer one day I get my first sale. These are ones that I don't use, but there are on-campus jobs. There's off-campus jobs, and then we have free tutoring. So unless you want private one-on-one, I know some people who may want private one-on-one, you can, offer your tutoring service to people. Our next topic is mental and physical health, emotional as well. Rest. It's so important to rest. You're going practically sun up, sundown sometimes, and sometimes you lack in your sleep because you're staying up late to get those assignments done, or you're hanging out, and rest sometimes just comes secondhand. Like, you're staying up to 2 a.m. Quite literally this morning. I had stayed up late studying last night. I got in my bed, I read a book, reread one of my old books, and then I was scrolling on my phone, and by the time I actually went to bed, it was 1:30 a.m. and I got up at 8 this morning because I needed to get ready to film this video. Sleep just goes out the window. But rest is important because it gives your body and your mind a break. Your mind is running crazy all day and your body's going to physically get exhausted. So you want to make sure you're giving yourself plenty of breaks to recover and recharge. And also, I think it's something to look forward to at the end of the day. I look forward, like when I wake up, I can't wait to get back into bed. Like once I get through a hard day, I look forward to getting in the bed at night. So rest is something also like a reward. It's something to look forward to. Stress and burnout takes a toll on you. I think burnout is the worst. I've been burnt out a couple of times, once in high school and heavily, like at least 50 million times in college. I think it shit happens when I'm super, like I need to get all this work done, and then I get super exhausted and frustrated, and that's when my burnout hits and I have to step back and reevaluate. It's hard to be your best when you're burnt out and you're exhausted. So for me, just what's always works is I stop what I'm doing. Once I get to that point, I'm trying to get better about not getting to that point. But when I do get to that point, take a step back. I notice that I'm burnt out, and I say it's time to go to bed. You need to rest, recharge, and the next day I reevaluate what can I do different so I don't keep getting to this point. Try not to stress about things you can't control. There are things you can't control. You can control when you do your assignments, when you turn them in, if you're getting your points. But things like a pop quiz or financial struggles that you had no idea were about to pop up, you can control when it happened, how it happened. It is sometimes overwhelming, but I'm trying to learn not to stress about it, because when I don't, and I'm like, God's got me, I'm okay, my stress is lower. I want to be this chill, laid back person. When someone throws something at me, it's okay. Am I perfect? No, I'm not completely there, but I am getting there, and I notice my stress has decreased immensely. And I think a break is the best way to, like, a break is the best way to break stress and burnout. So, like, rest. You want to rest and you want to reevaluate your situation. That's exactly how I handle burnout, and I think that truly has just helped me. Once I realize once I'm burnt out, it's time to reevaluate so we don't keep doing it again. And then lastly, eating habits and how they really affect your body. So campus is hit or miss. There's not healthier, there's not like your home cooked meals or meal prepping type things, unless you do that in your dorm. I don't. So for me, what I would consider the healthier options, when I can go to the dining hall and they're serving like a vegetable. If it's a vegetable I'm going to eat, I get whatever else they're serving with it. That's kind of how I do that. For breakfast, I pretty much eat at the dining hall as well, because it's buffet style. I love breakfast, and I get a fruit with my meal every day. The hard part is eat once you get outside of the dining hall. It's not that healthy. Like if I go to Payway, they don't really serve vegetables. Chick-fil-A, I mean, you get a salad and fruit, but I don't want that from Chick-fil-A. And then, Subway is good. You can get your veggies on there, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's still just fast food. And you have to watch how much you're consuming, because that definitely can affect your energy and your focus. You have to have everything in moderation. I think when they say, like, your definition of healthy is you're eating all the good stuff, but you're also eating sweets and normal food, because balance is how you maintain the realistic lifestyle. Listen to how your body feels. My body would feel like crap, and I would just keep eating. Like, no, stop. Listen to your body. If your body's telling you it doesn't like what you're putting in it, stop. You have to figure out something else. Or maybe it's just you're eating it too often, and your body's like, can we stop? Can we do something better? And then I'm a huge sweet treat lover. So my thing is, sometimes you just need a sweet treat to keep going. I limit myself to one a week, because in high school, girl, I was eating like every single day. I was eating ice cream. Mind you, I'm lactose intolerant. I'm overweight. I got acne on my face. And I'm over here eating ice cream every single, and not one of those, I'm eating a bowl of ice cream every single night. And that is one of the unhealthy habits I learned from my family that I'm breaking. Out here, I don't even eat ice cream like that. The first time I had it was this year. My friend wanted to go to Cold Stone, so we went and ate that. Didn't even finish it, brought it back. Second time, my friend wanted gelato. You see how it's my friend? Or you see how I'm not eating it that often? She wanted gelato. I got us 2 scoops of that. And that was it for a couple weeks. And then last week we went to Andy's, got a small because I didn't want that much sugar. Only ate like 3 scoops. It was like, I'm full. And it's still sitting in my freezer. Everything in moderation. I do once like a reward treat a week. I call it at the end of Thursday because that's my last busy day of the week. So one time I typically get some chips. Try not to do as many hot chips. I limit myself to 1 a week, so I didn't have them this week. I went and got like a plain bag of Lay's for my reward. Sometimes I do a Chick-fil-A milkshake. Haven't done that in a bit, but I was doing that because I think it's just a sweet treat. It's another good reward along with rest, to where it's like, okay, you have to reward. You want to enjoy life. It kind of goes off the saying where you want to enjoy your paycheck, so buy something you wouldn't usually buy. And I think that's really what keeps me going, and definitely it's like a reward to my body. Like, we did good this week, let's reward ourselves for it without going overboard. So my last topic of this video is going to be about personal growth, because I've seen such a change in me and I love it, and I'm taking it back home with me and she's not leaving. For personal growth, you're gonna grow so much being on your own, because it's not, I'm from across the country. Actually, I'm in Arizona from Indiana, which is in the Midwest, but it is all the way over there. And just being on my own, I'm learning how to pay my things on time, making sure I eat, because the meals aren't just pre-made and I go sit down and eat them whenever I want to. It's not like that. So you're going to grow so much. It's up to you to do what you want to do, get your stuff done. You're going to grow as a person. You're going to figure out who you want to be and become that person. Learning to say no to protect your peace. This goes along with don't overcommit. I had a hard time saying no. I was always burnt out. Like, if this person wanted something, I was giving it to them. And I realized I kind of lost myself, because it's kind of frustrating when you are making, like, your family, oh, can you do this? Can you do this? And I'm like, yes. Every single break I went home. And then when I say, I just start putting myself first, they're like, you always do. That's selfish. And it really would hurt. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes it would hurt my feelings, because I'm not taking your kid here because I want to, or I'm not helping you clean your house, or doing all these 50 million things because I want to. I did it because you asked me to, and I call myself being nice. But the moment I say it's time to do something for myself, or I say no, it's, oh, well, you're supposed to do stuff for family when they ask. When I ask people to do so, half of the time the answer is no. And I've been praying on it, because I really need this situation to work out. I need to know if they're right, and I do need to, like, I'm not supposed to put myself first. But then also, like, you can't pour from an empty cup. Or I need to know if they're, they're not taking it right, and it's okay for me to put myself first. So I'm kind of at the point now to where I'm saying no to protect my peace. I do think it's great to help out my family. I definitely want to be a dependable member in my family. But if I'm tired, if I really just don't want to do it, I'm going to say no. And it's just going to be no. There's nothing, once I say no, that's it. So I'm really working on that. But I think once you learn to say no to protect your peace, you will be just fine. You will learn to live this carefree life where you're not always exhausted. And my last one is, everyone's figuring it out. Even if they seem more confident, they're still figuring it out. This is all new to everybody, regardless of where you are. Regardless if you lived on your own before. You're living on your own. You're surrounded by people your age, a little bit older. You're dealing with 50 million different personalities a day, while also starting to be a real adult. It's crazy, but everyone's figuring it out. And they may seem more confident. Maybe it's just because they had it planned out and you didn't, but that's okay. We're all on different paths, going at different pace. Don't rush. Don't hold yourself back. There's a perfect pace for you. Stick with that pace. Everything's going to work out. My top 2 takeaways would be, enjoy every moment. This experience, you only do this once. Regardless if you go to Masters or stay here, you're only a freshman. You're only a freshman once. Enjoy the moment. Soak up every event. Take the photos, take videos, make connections, get phone numbers. You're only going to be here once. And I would just say be present and fully take in the moment and enjoy it. And don't be harsh on yourself. This is a new experience. Things aren't going to always go as planned. You're going to get shocked. You're going to get scared. You're going to be upset. You're going to feel all the emotions through your first year. But don't beat yourself up over it, because then that's when it becomes you don't want to do it anymore. Give yourself time to adjust, readjust, and you'll be fine. So that is the end of this video. I appreciate all of you for watching. Make sure you comment down below what you wish you knew or what you're nervous about if you're not in college yet. Make sure you guys subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of June. So I appreciate all of you who are. And if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe, because your girl is going to be more active and doing more vlogs. In the description is all my social media platforms. Make sure you guys check them out. I also have Venable, which if you guys want to see what I'm buying, what I bought for my single dorm, that is up there. I also have discount codes for both skincare, Casely, and comfort sweatshirts. So make sure you sweatsuits. So you guys make sure you use them, because they are there for you. Like, comment, subscribe, and subscribe if this helped you, because I want to be I want to be better about helping you guys out when you need it, just like I have received help when I needed it. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye, besties.